just coming on here nervous as heck, waiting to see what these election results are going to be. So I was like, okay, let me take my mind off of this election and go live to see what all of you beautiful people are up to. I hope that you voted. You went out and voted for sure. You already know my choice is Kamala. So me and my family went out and voted today. It was my son's first time voting ever because he's 18. So we went out and did that. But yeah, let's while we wait, let's talk about something else. I launched some diffusers on my website. I don't know if you've been looking at my website or if you follow my Instagram, but I launched these cute little diffusers. So super excited about that. I have my holiday line up. I hope that you have your holiday line up and ready. If you've not seen the memes after the October 31st, like people kind of skip over Thanksgiving, which I'm still thankful for Thanksgiving, but I don't make Thanksgiving candles. I make holiday candles, which are more geared towards Christmas. So I hope that you have your holiday lines up and posted and ready to go, regardless of what you sell, because that's important to be able to switch your candle fragrances and your vessels and all of that good stuff by the season. So let me know what you have. What are you doing? I see four people here. Do you have a candle business? Do you have a different type of product based business? What's going on, people? Ask questions, chat. Let me know if you went to vote. Are you nervous? What's going on in your lives? Let me know. I don't go live often. I did a couple of times while I was at the market just because I had some downtime. But it's kind of fun to go live when you come in, you chime in, you talk. Well, not actually talk, but type some questions, conversate with me. Like I said, I'm nervously waiting to see what's going on with this election. So I was like, let me go live. I'm down here in my studio. I was just kind of doing some inventory to see what I have. I kind of dropped the ball a little bit this season because I was kind of going back and forth like, what color vessels do I want to have? What do I want to sell for the holiday season? Diffusers is something that I've always wanted to do. I just had to do a bit more testing on it. I have found instead of using oils and mixing the alcohol myself, it's just much easier to get a clean diffuser base. And I also find that the diffuser base is a little bit thinner than when you mix it yourself, which you absolutely can, especially if you're not going to be selling it, then you can just use your own carrier oil, like a coconut oil or something like that. Mix it with some alcohol and then put your fragrance in there. That's perfectly fine. But for selling purposes, I find that the diffuser base, it gets up the reed a lot better. And having this flower, the little solar flower, it soaks up the fragrance as well. So it's really nice to have that. It makes this reed diffuser very strong. So I can't wait to see what my customers think about these. I'm doing a couple of markets. I have a bunch of markets actually. I have this mother's brunch that I do every year. It's a White Eagle Club. So it's a brunch of moms who, they have auctions and then they have the little shop where people can come and shop small businesses. So I'll be a part of that. I'm doing Markets for Makers. If you're a candle maker, Markets for Makers is the market to be in because from what I've been told over the past few years, people who have done this market have made a killing. Like they've done really, really well. So I went to check it out actually October 26th and 27th when they were in Chicago. I went on the 27th because I flew back from London on the 26th, and then oh my god, I was so jet lagged, but I had to go see this market because I didn't know what the setup would look like, what the competition would look like. And when you do markets, that's really important for you to check your competition, to go to the market, visit the market, see what the competition looks like, see what the setups look like, and then you think, to yourself, like, okay, That was cool. That was cool. But I can elevate my table or my booth or my space in a different way to really stand out from the crowd. I know my product is absolutely amazing. I've been told that my product is like Joe Malone level, which is a huge compliment because I know Joe Malone is a really big name. And so for me to be a smaller business and just be able to, who gave me? Oh, thank you for the money. I don't know how that works or how I'm going to claim it, but thank you. I was just on here talking. I wasn't expecting that. But what was I saying? So, being called, I think I lost connection there. But what I do at home is I'll take my table, or one year I took my tent out in my backyard and I set the tent up and then I just kind of decorated it to see how I wanted to look. This is when I first started doing markets. But then I'll also do like my table. I'll set the table up and then just decorate it to make sure that it looks the way that I want it to look, that it's giving what I needed to give. So I'll do that, just like a mock setup to make sure that when I go to the market that I know how I want things to be. So it won't take me too long to set up because I've already kind of mapped it out. So yeah, that's what I do. And I'm so proud of my new diffusers. And then I have my vessels, the gold plated vessels. And I'm only going to be selling these at the market. It's always good to have some sort of exclusivity when you go to the markets as well. Something that people can only buy at the markets that they cannot get on your website. It's good to have. People love exclusivity, so that's a good thing to do as well. But yeah, do you have any questions? Are you doing any holiday markets? I'm doing a candle making class at a local Hawaii Fluid Art. So that's going to be fun to be able to do that. I'm going to be selling tickets for that to see who signs up. Hoping to get about 15 people. That's about the max for me that I can do in a candle making class. If we can get that, then I may do back-to-back classes in one day, or I may do one weekend and then one the next weekend. So I don't know. We'll see. What questions do you have? Any questions? What you want to chat about? Let me know. I'm live. Like whatever you ask, whatever you say, you're gonna get a live response. So usually you just see me doing videos, not too many live. So you got me here while I'm patiently waiting for 7 p.m. so I can see what's going on with this election tonight. But yeah, I'm here. I am here. Maybe we can talk about some candle making, I don't know, myths. So, one of my pet peeves when it comes to people who purchase candles or the thought process around candles, like your candles don't need a lid, okay? They don't need a lid. If you have a good candle, yes, the scent may evaporate a little bit off the top, but as you begin burning that candle is going to be just as strong as the day you purchased it. You don't need a lid. Generally, what lids and dusters do is keep the dirt and dust off the top of your candle. It's not going to make your candle stronger or make your candle last longer or any of that stuff. So that's a myth right there as well. Okay. Also, you can go in a store and you can smell a candle and it may smell strong. So it has a really nice cold throw, but may not have a good hot throw, meaning you're burning it in one room and you can't even smell it in that room, let alone the next. So that's a myth as well. Okay. Also, with candles, depending upon the materials that you use, you can get a little bit of sitting here and there. It's also the way that you take care of your candles as well. So, if you're not taking care of your candles, as you know, woodwick candles are freaking high maintenance. After you burn these candles, you need to cut the black part off and then, burn it again. Because if you don't cut the black part off, you're going to get some soot, okay? That's just going to happen. If you're not caring for your candle and your candle won't burn properly, it won't last as long as it should. So that's another thing to think about. Also, people talk about tunneling. I know candle makers say allow your candles have a memory ring, right? Allow your candles to burn an hour or two to get as close to the edge as possible. You can do that. But I found with my candles, if I light my candle for an hour and it just burns around this center part here, and then I snuff it out. When I come back, it'll tunnel a little bit, but as it continues to burn, it always gets to the edge. So it's fine. You don't have to sit up there and be putting, foil all on your candle and smothering it to get it to burn properly. It's going to burn properly, period. So that's another thing. But yeah, those are a couple of myths around candle making. All right, there's still a few people here. Nobody really talking tonight. Somebody sent me some coin. Thank you for that. I'll have to figure out how to get that or redeem it or claim it or whatever, because that's happened to me before, and I think the money's probably still sitting there because I don't know how to claim it at all. But I thank you anyway. Oh my gosh. You probably should have kept that to yourself, love. You may need to light a candle to get that out of the room. Those can be deadly, for sure. Yeah, a little bit of TMI there. But okay. All right. Anybody else? I've seen a few of your videos and I was thinking of starting a gentleman's line. How do you choose your scents? I think it really depends on what what's trending in the market as far as more masculine fragrances, and how you want your candle line to be represented in the market. Is it going to be more luxury masculine scents? Is it going to be more like, I don't know, some of the fragrances for me can be quite corny, like it just really depends, like what do you want your line to be? Do you want masculine scents that smells like teak wood, or do you want masculine scents that have a little bit of oud in them? Um, it really just depends. I would say start testing, buying fragrances from a bunch of fragrance houses, and then see what you like. Look up what's trending in the market, and then I would go from there. Oh, hi, Tashud. How was Paris? Paris was amazing. I want to go back. I don't want to live in the US anymore. That's how amazing it was. Can you do an updated video on cost analysis? Also, your wood wicks. How did you get the big, thick ones that still have the crackling sound? So I get my wood wicks from Maxi. I use the 0.625. It's the 0.02, 0.625 wood wicks that I have. So get those. It's the ultimate wood wick. I don't use their regular wood wicks with the little boosters on them because those things cause so much soot and so much smoke, regardless of which fragrance or wax I'm using. They just do not work well. So don't get those. Yes, you did make me smile when you shared that bit of TMI. I'm great, Tessie. How are you? So how many people here actually have a candle business already, or some sort of product-based business? Are you running your business yet? You do, Tessie? What's the name of your candle business? Oh, hold on. To shoot. Let me. Oh. It's these 0.02 and then the 0.625. with. These are for the 12-ounce Aura jars, though. I use them in the 12-ounce Aura jars, and I also use them in the double wall jars. But they are not good for all waxes. So if you're not using the cocoa apricot wax and you're using something like soy, then you need to test the different wicks. No, I don't have a brick and mortar yet. Oh, Tessie Tasty Treats. Oh, you do different things. Drop your website so we can check it out. I get the one. You get that one. This is the one if you're using the 12-hour jars. Those are the best ones. Have you been testing to shoot? I know you said you were getting started. Oh, Tessie, you do wax melts? Nice. I don't do wax melts. I used to do wax melts, but I found that people just don't purchase those. So I stopped doing them because it was a waste of my time. Okay. Yeah, Tessie, let us know. Have you been testing? Ooh, don't do the 0.4 boosters on the Aura because your candles will smoke your house out for sure. I don't use those anymore because that little extra booster wick, oh my God, it makes the candle burn so fast. These don't have the booster on it. These are thinner and they're flatter than the booster wick. Yeah, I stopped using those booster wicks because they were messing my candles up. So I'm so glad they came out with the ultimate wick because it seemed like with the booster wicks, I would test one fragrance and then test another fragrance, and it just was not consistent. At least with these, it's a consistent burn regardless of the fragrance that I'm using in the candle. So to shoot, definitely go back and get the ultimate wood wick. Don't be afraid of doing candles, Tessie. It's just, why do I keep losing connection? If you're using a cotton wick, that may, be a little easier. They're more beginner friendly, I would say. The wood wicks are more difficult, but definitely test. I'm not telling you not to use the wood wick. I'm just saying that they can be a little bit more difficult to work with. And it took me months, a long time to get my formula right, to get my wicks right. Like I said, Maxie just came out with these ultimate wicks a little bit ago. And I started using those and I fell in love with them because now I don't have to try to test everything, to try to figure out if this booster wick is going to work with this and this fragrance, if it's going to work with that fragrance. This ultimate wood wick works with whatever fragrance I'm using in my candle. As long as it's the 12. Okay. To shoot, you got 8-ounce and 10-ounce vessels, just like the gold ones you got. Oh, to shoot, I hope you got yours early because, like I said, I dropped the ball and I need a lot more. And Maxie is sold out. I'm going to have to find a new supplier because every time I turn around, they're sold out of something. They're sold out of something, whether it's the fragrance that I need or the vessels. It's just crazy. And their shipping is so delayed during the holidays. Like, I can't take it. I'm like panicking right now because it's like I sold out as soon as I launched my holiday line, and now I'm like going back to order and it's like sold out, sold out, sold out. Like, I can't take it. Can you use the ultimate wick in cow wax, cocoa soy, luxury wax? I do not use that wax, but I would say yes. When you go to Maxie and you look at the ultimate wicks, it's going to tell you wax companion. So right here it says suitable for most wax types. And then if you go to a different ultimate wood wick, it'll tell you this is suitable for paraffin wax and soy wax. So just when you go to the website, just look at the type of ultimate wick and read what the wax companion is, and then go from there. But I'm sure they have one that you can use in the cocoa soy luxury wax. To shoot, I do use the soy wax. I have the hardest time with the apricot wax, it seems like. Oh, really? Yeah, it could be because you used the wrong wood wick when you were trying to use the cocoa apricot wax. Ooh, red. That's cute. I love that. Hurry up with your holiday and winter. Send the link, Tessie. We want to know what your Facebook group page is. We're all about supporting each other here for sure. I want to know everybody's website, what you're doing, what you're building. I love that. Like, I'll follow you for sure. Just let me know. I will follow you, and I want everybody who's here to follow each other. Support. You need the support. I always say, right? Thank you, Tashu. You're welcome. I always say that when it comes to small businesses, like we really have to support each other because there are so many large businesses that really don't need the support that we need because they're already there. Like, I'm sure the Joe Malones and Laugh Co's of the world are not sitting there waiting for, follows at this point. They're in retail, they're, doing their thing. They've already made a name for themselves. But for the smaller businesses, we have to support each other. Um, and, that means the world to me when I see people, coming onto my Instagram and following me. And I will tell you a secret because I've worked in corporate America for about 13 years now, and I've worked with larger businesses, not a candle business or anything like that. It's been food and beauty and oral care. But for the smaller startups that I've worked for, when they were ready to go from D2C, which is direct to consumer, just online selling, to going into retail stores, the retail will look at their social proof. Social proof doesn't necessarily mean like, oh my God, they have 500,000 followers. They must be, you know, selling so much. They must be millionaires. No, because not everybody that follows is going to purchase your product. But the social proof is important for retail to see that you have people actually following you and watching you because their mindset is, all right, you have 100,000, followers. If I then allow you to go onto my store shelves, you're going to be able to reach your audience, which is of 100,000, and then we're going to reach our audience when we announce that you are actually there. So that's what I think social proof does for small businesses. It just really gets you noticed and gives them kind of that indication that, all right, they have a following. If I allow them on store shelves, it's going to be good. It's not always good though, because I've worked for companies that went into retail and absolutely flopped just because either the price point or people were like, all right, I'm not going to buy this smaller businesses, oral care products when I can purchase, something at a cheaper price from like a Philips or Oral-B or whatever it may be. So, that can be a little difficult, but everybody follow each other and support each other. It just means a lot. Connected to, and yes, I love supporting small businesses. How do I balance inventory? I have a spreadsheet. So whenever I get inventory in, I just add what I just purchased and how much of it and how much it cost me into a spreadsheet. And then as I go through things, I, highlight it red because I know that I need to order more. I also used to work in supply chain, so I know, lead times, right? Which is why I'm kicking myself this holiday season for not ordering what I needed to order, but whatever, it happens. But you have to think about your lead time. So, say you have 100 roasted chestnut candles. And last season, it took you a week or two to sell through those 100 candles. Well, you need to be thinking about when you need to reorder so that you don't completely go out of stock on those candles and then not be able to sell. So, think about your lead times. How fast are you selling through your product? And then, order that way. And that'll definitely help you out. Yeah, Tessie, you should document your process for sure. People love to see like behind the scenes, what you're doing, how you're growing, how you're evolving, what's your story. Everybody has a story. I know I have a story. I have a bit of a testimony. It wasn't easy for me in the beginning. And the reasoning behind starting my candle business really came from a lot of heartache and pain and dark times and really also good times too. I mean, I've always loved candles my entire life. And so, whether I'm doing yoga or journaling or if I'm meditating or if I'm celebrating, I've just cleaned the house, I'll light a candle. Or if I'm just like feeling down and I'm like, all right, let me set the mood, I'm going to light a candle. And then for me doing that so much, I just noticed like, oh my God, I had my daughter and these candles were irritating her. They were irritating my pet. They were irritating me. And then I started to do my research and figured out like some of the fragrance oils are not good because they have phthalates and parabens and all of these toxins in them, which could actually affect your hormones. And, like the soot that was coming out of some of these candles, like I would blow my nose and then I would have black stuff in my nose. I'm like, okay, I'm all about clean living, burning clean candles. And so I would buy the soy candles, and the soy candles wouldn't be strong enough. And you know how you go into like Home Goods and you would find a candle like, oh, this smells so good. And then you take it home and you light it and you're like, where's the smell? Because this is not what I was smelling when I purchased this candle. So I just kind of decided to, make my own candles. But I did create my LLC in 2018. I just allowed corporate to really take over. And then COVID came and like God was like, yep, you're working in the dental industry. Time for you to get laid off. So what are you going to do now? And I'm like, all right, I have this LLC. I'm going to make my candles. And so, that's what I did. But the journey definitely was not easy. Like some of you who follow me probably saw the video when I talked about, I had a baby and I actually gave birth to this baby. I pushed the baby out and the baby didn't survive. And then 4 months after I found out I was having my daughter, my dad told me that he had lung cancer. And I had hope, but then we went to the biopsy, and then my dad had stage 4 lung cancer. And my dad ended up dying literally 2 weeks before I had my daughter. And so it was just like, you know, pain, depression, then joy, then pain, and then depression, and all of these things. And like candles really got me through that. But again, I started to notice that the candles that I was burning to really soothe myself and my emotions and all of that, it was just like not good. So that was, why I wanted to do this. And then also, I noticed that like I would burn these candles and I was like, "Ooh, I feel so bad throwing these jars away." So I had like a bucket of jars that I would keep because I didn't want to throw away the vessels. And I'm like, okay, this is so wasteful, which is why I worked on my refill model. But with the refill model, it's just so difficult because China wants to charge me so many thousands of dollars just to create the proper molds that I need to continue to do the refills. So it's still a work in progress. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm just finding a different way to do it that's not so costly to me, a small business. So let me catch up on what you guys are saying. Um, okay. Tashud, you have your website coming. Nice. Thank you, Tessie. We all just kind of go through things. We all have stories, and it just makes you human. It just makes you human. If you're a person that hasn't gone through anything, I would be absolutely surprised because none of us are perfect. And regardless of what it is, you're going to go through something. Some people's tragedies are a lot deeper than other people's tragedies. To shoot, I know from my last live what you told me about why you started making your candles. So, that's your testimony and your story and your dedication in starting your candle business. And Tessie, I know, everybody has a testimony. So definitely, Tessie, start videoing yourself, documenting your journey, tell your story to your audience so that you can really connect with them and let them know that you're a human and not just someone trying to sell them something. um, it definitely goes a long way with people, I think, when you just open up and let them know that I'm real too. It's not been easy for me. Looking at my business now, like I said, it just has come a long way. And so I started my LLC in 2018, and then I started actually doing the testing in 2020. And I noticed that I needed help, a lot of help. And I was like, you know what? It's other people out there that could use some advice and some assistance as well, starting their businesses. So let me just start this YouTube channel. And I didn't think it was going anywhere at all. I was so afraid. If you go back and look at my very first video, like, oh my gosh, it was such a cringy moment. But I did it. There is somebody, like, I call her a family member, but she's my little sister's best friend, making and doing, candle making videos as well. And they're way ahead of me. But that's okay. Okay. I'm doing what I do and I'm helping the people that God sent me to help. I can't reach everybody. And so the people that do subscribe to me and that follow me and that, take my advice and stuff like that, I appreciate that. So, yeah. Tessie, you said maybe one day I'll tell you my story behind Tessie's tasty treats. Yes, and I would love to hear that. Definitely let me know your testimony. Like I said, everybody has one, and it's good to just put it out there and let people know what you went through to get to where you are. And I'm still going through my journey. I am not there yet. Um, but I do feel like this is my purpose. This is where I need to be. This is what excites me. This is my love. I can make candles all day long. And like, if I'm feeling down about, that 9 to 5 job, somebody did something that made me feel like, I'm less than or whatever, because in corporate America, I find that a lot, especially with people of color. It's just kind of like, oh my God, every team that I've worked on, there's not been anybody that looked like me. And so I have to work a lot harder than my counterparts, I feel like. And I've been belittled at work and all kinds of things. But after I clock out, log out of that computer, because I do work from home on a computer, I run downstairs and I start making candles. It just like soothes my mind and it just makes my day so much better. So I know that this is my love. This is my gifted talent. I'm doing with my hands what God created me to do. And I'm also sharing and giving back to people who want to do the same thing. Not gatekeeping at all. I don't mind telling people where I get my supplies and products and all of that stuff from, because I believe in God and I know that what's meant for me is meant for me and what's meant for you is meant for you. So keep that in mind. Yeah, Tessie, God brought you here for a reason, for sure. I truly believe that. God is the Almighty, the Alpha and Omega. He wrote our story before we knew our story. He knows how it starts, what's in the middle, and what's in the end. And I just believe that if you know, follow his word, you're a good person, and you go out there and you help other people, and you're just a good Christian, then it'll definitely bless you for sure. I am not a perfect Christian, I'll tell you that. Um, and I'm still on my journey with the Lord, but yeah, My name is Sanaya Faith McDonald. Hi, Sanaya. Welcome to the live. I'm going to be on here for about 5 more minutes because I'm anxious to see what's going on with this election. You know, I need to know what's going on. And so I have to go turn on CNN Live to see how we're tracking. Sanaya, do you have a candle business or any sort of business? Yes, Tessie, you too, right? I'm just like, I've been so anxious. I went and voted today, and I'm just like, oh, please, God, like, we don't need anybody that's going to cause more division and, the violent things that he said. It's just, I can't take it. I can't do 4 years of that. Oh, look at you guys talking amongst each other. I love that. That's what we're here for, right? Oh, I'm calling. It's Sonia, not Sanaya. I thought I saw an I in there. I don't have my glasses on. Sorry. See, we only have one voter, and that is Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Like my husband and I talked about it today. Like, what did Glorilla say? At the end of the day got to end. And you know what? God is gonna make that decision. Like, how He meant for this to go down, it'll go down. But I cannot help but hope and pray that it is not Donald Trump. I just can't. Oh Lord, help us. And you know what's funny? While I was in Europe, um, I went to the UK, so I was in Cambridge, and all of the people were like, I'm praying for you guys in America. We don't want Donald Trump to win because if he wins, it'll have a huge negative effect on our country because our dictators will begin to take on, you know, his ways, and it'll just be really bad for us. So we're praying that he does not become the president of the United States because they feel the United States is the most influential. And so I know YouTube is not continually disconnecting my video because we're talking about politics here. I keep seeing every time we talk about politics, reconnect, disconnect. I don't know. But yeah. All right. I am going to get off of here and go see what's going on with this election. And I'm just praying for everyone who came in today, praying for your peace, praying for your business. And I just want you to stay motivated and continue on in your business. I know sometimes as business owners, we can get to that point where we're like, oh my God, what are we doing? I just want to quit. Do not quit, because what if you quit a day before your breakthrough, a week before your breakthrough, a month before your breakthrough? You know what I'm saying? So just keep going. But thank you, beautiful people, for joining my live. I'm about to get off of here. Okay, I'll answer this one last question. What social media platforms do you recommend on starting or making videos, and especially if I'm not a content creator and I am still shy? I would say start with YouTube. I feel like Instagram is just not what it used to be, and it's really phony over there. When you come on YouTube, you're talking to real people that are coming on YouTube, searching for videos like the videos that you may be making on purpose. When you're on Instagram, you're just scrolling. Nobody's searching over there. YouTube is like a search engine. TikTok is like a search engine. It's hard to grow on TikTok though. I don't know what they want. I've been on TikTok since TikTok started, and like, I don't know what they want. But YouTube, You just get on, you talk to the camera. It may take you a little while to get to live. Like I've been on YouTube for a couple of years and like I just started doing lives this year, like literally a month ago, because I'm a shy person too. But I would say start with YouTube. Make your first video, put it out there. Again, like I said, go to my very first video. You'll see how cringe it was. It was, oh my God. You could tell like all the nerves were there. Like, and then I just kept doing it and kept doing it. And I got more used to it. You will get mean people. People say mean things all the time and they join my block party very quickly. They join my block party. Block, hide from channel. Sometimes I just get irritated by it and I may like say something back. And after I say what I have to say, I'll block them. Because I just don't like negativity. I just feel like there's no reason for negativity in the world. It's so simple for you to watch a person's video and in your mind think, oh, I wasn't feeling that. Do you have to go? Like, if I watch somebody's video on YouTube or I see someone on TikTok or Instagram, I'm not going on there like, hey, this was boring or this sucked or why are you even here or saying something mean and negative. I just hate that because the only thing that I have to do if I don't love your content is just keep scrolling and not follow. That's it. Why do you have to? I just don't understand why people have to be mean to other people. Like, oh, it's just horrible. I've seen on TikTok, like, this girl did a video and she was so proud of herself. She was excited. She had on her outfit. She was looking good, to her. And somebody just came on there and just like completely broke that girl down, talked about her looks, her body shape, and everything. And it was like, why? Just why? If you don't think she's attractive, guess what? Somebody over here does. If you don't like her how outfit, somebody over there does. Keep it to yourself. Like just keep it to yourself. You do not have to watch my videos. You don't have to subscribe to me. You do not have to be here if you don't want to be here. But don't say negative stuff because it's just being mean for no reason. I actually feel like people who do stuff like that are just very unhappy with themselves. Period. They're unhappy with themselves. So it's a shame everyone started from the bottom, but people are harsh in this world. Period. Not everybody was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Not everybody was born wealthy. I will give you the truth. Like, I bought these vessels and I'm not feeling them, or I'm not feeling this fragrance, or these wicks. Like, I still use Makesy. Like, I love Makesy. Like, the fragrances, I haven't found any fragrances that are as luxurious as theirs. So I still use them. But some of their wood wicks just don't work for me, cause a lot of soot, not not feeling it. Some of their vessels, not feeling the colors, but that's okay. I found the ones that I do love. And it's actually a good company to get your supplies from, especially in the beginning. But I will say that I see a lot of people now using a lot of Makesy stuff. So I am going to have to like, pivot and find some very unique vessels that are not like other people's vessels in the market because we all know that the candle market is just so crowded and it can be difficult for you to get your product out there. So yeah, I digress. I just went off on a whole thing, but I do have to go watch this election because I'm sitting here like my heart is beating. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. I'm like, I have a daughter, and it's so. I took her to vote with me today, even though she can't vote. She came in having her own mind and just thinking for herself. A lot of issues. And okay, 2 minutes. So some people say that they want to vote for Donald Trump because they're Christian and they don't believe in abortion. Donald Trump's not going to stop abortion at all. He said that he's going to leave it up to the individual states. Even if you don't believe in abortion, you know that you're not going to have an abortion. You know that you wouldn't recommend anyone else to have an abortion. But if a person wants to have an abortion, they're going to get an abortion. There's nothing you can do really to stop them. Especially if they made up their mind. We don't like I don't know anybody in my circle that's come to me asking me about that. But there are other women in the world who, for whatever reason, feels like that's what they need to do. God did not put us here to judge other people. So whatever the decision is their decision. And Donald Trump is not going to be able to stop that. Point blank, period. So, I mean, he's not going to be able to stop people loving who they want to love. If people are, homosexual, what people do in the privacy of their own homes is what they do in the privacy of their own homes. I'm not judging anybody. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. Period, Tessie. He is about 90. I agree. And Kamala also comes from politics. Trump is just a business person who, from what I'm hearing, is not a very good one. Um, and he started his business with millions of dollars from his father, who was already wealthy. So he did not start from the bottom, and now he's here. Okay, he started all the way at the top. So, you know, he was born a millionaire, and he got a lot of help. So, yeah, we need um oh yeah, he's definitely a silver spoon person, for sure. He's definitely a silver spoon person. He did not start from the bottom. He did not get it out the mud like some of the rappers like to say. He did not. His father gave him that money to start his business, and that's how he got to the billionaire he is. And Elon Musk is so disappointing. I drive a Tesla. I had a Cybertruck on order, canceled that because the things that he's doing, I just can't believe it. Like, he's buying boats. I can't believe it. But again, like you said, Tessie, God is going to do what God needs to do, regardless of who wins. I'm just praying that it's Kamala. That's it. Listen, you don't have your first car and you're 30. That's okay. That's all right. That is okay. Like, trust me, this car note, you don't want a car note. Like, I think I just liked Tesla a lot and I wanted an electric car. And let me tell you, I got screwed by Mr. Musk on the Tesla because the car when I purchased it 2 years ago cost way more than what it does now. And so he really screwed me. And all of the people who bought their car 2 years ago. And then he dropped the price by like $30,000. Or was it? No, it was like $25,000. So, and the only reason that I bought the Tesla again is because I wanted an electric vehicle. I heard that that one was really great. And there weren't a lot of electric vehicles that I was super impressed with outside of that. So I went ahead and got that. But yeah. If you don't have your first car, that's okay. Keep working up towards it. It just depends on what type of vehicle you want. Just be, smart about it, whatever you get, because these people will bring you in these car dealerships and sell you the moon and the stars, and then you get home with the vehicle, and 2 years later, you need a new engine. So just be careful. So I've had the Tesla for 2 years. I've not had one problem with it. I love my Tesla. I just don't like Mr. Musk anymore. I just I can't rock with him. But I've had my Tesla for 2 years and I've not had any issues with it at all. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. But it's been absolutely amazing. And I love the self-driving. When I don't feel like driving, I just click the button and the car drives for me. I love that I don't ever have to go to the gas station. It's so much cheaper to charge. Um, yeah, you got to be careful what you watch on social media because it'll get you scared. Like, oh my God, I don't want one of those cars. Like, it's gonna go up in flames on me or whatever else. If you're a safe driver, I will say the only thing with the Tesla in the winter, because the cars are fairly light. I have a Model Y, the performance one, because I like to go fast. I will say that because it's so light in the winter, if you don't put those tire chains on, then it slides a little bit because we have snow here in the Chicago area. So that's the only thing. But other than that, like, I love my car. And I wish Elon Musk didn't make them because I would actually buy a Cybertruck. I went in sat in one and it's really nice. It's really nice. They're kind of, a lot of people say that they look like refrigerators, the silver ones. And then you see people's on the streets and it has all these fingerprints on there. You just kind of like, I don't know if you're like me, but that's like, ooh, on my refrigerator when I see fingerprints, I gotta go wipe it off because I don't like that. And that's how the cars look. But I would have gotten mine wrapped, but I'm not doing it. Is that you live in West Virginia? I think, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good car. And it's now the most reasonable car with a lot of nice features as far as electric vehicles are concerned. So, and then they were offering um what was it, a like a 1% interest in like 299 car note or something like that. So, yeah, right? You don't like fingerprints on a refrigerator. Yes. I have my testing workbooks, Lakeisha. So I have the digital one. If you look in one of my videos, you can get the digital one, and then I sell the actual like paperback one on Amazon if you want to have like a physical book. But the digital one is $9.99. So if you click the link in the description box of any of my videos, then it'll take you right to the digital one, which I have to update. I have to do some stuff on there because there's some new testing that I've done, some new information that I found that I just want to put in there. But yeah, just click the link there and then you can get it. $9.99 digital, $19.99 for the paperback. I wish I had one by me, then I'd show you, but let me see if I can. I think I see one over here. Okay, don't mind me because I've been using this thing and this is like one of the ones, like you see it says not for resale because it was one of the tester books that I got, but it has like all the supplies that you need here. And then, this is where you write down all your information for testing. You know, this will tell you your burn time, how many hours you burned the candle, what was the flame height, what did the melt pool look like, take your little temperature gauge, what was the wax temp, and did it soot any while you were burning it. And then up here, what's the start date of testing, the wax type you use, the wick type, the wick size, the vessel size, the wax melt temp, the fragrance name, fragrance load, any additives you may have put in there, like if you used like a dye or something like that. And then what is your pour temp, because that's going to be important. Your cure time, how long did you cure it before you burned it? Your wick trim height, cold throw, hot throw, jar temp. Is your jar getting too hot? That means your wick is too big, too wide. What was your wax weight, your fragrance weight, your total burn time, and when do you end testing? What do you want to name the candle here? And then it has a space where you can like just take notes and do all that good stuff in there. So this is the one that you can get off of Amazon. And I'm gonna update this one too. because this is 2024 and it still says 2023, but that doesn't mean that the information inside of here is irrelevant. It's still what you need to test your candles. You're welcome, Lakeisha. Yeah. For me, like the digital one is cool, but when you print it out, you just have like all these papers. And I'm not that organized. So having like the book version for me is better because I can keep everything together. And I have multiple of these because it's like, what did I test and do in 2023? What did I test and do in 2024? Like, it just helps. So, yeah. But okay, I've been on here longer than anticipated. So I'm going to go watch and see what's going on with this election because I am very anxious. But again, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining the live. I'm so glad y'all came and showed up and talked to me today. I don't actually get to talk to you all like this. So I'm going to do another live soon. But yeah, let's go, Kamala. Oh, there's Eric. You're the one who sent me the money. Thank you so much. Bye, loves.